Hello, everybody! The cold autumn wind sweeps through the cobblestone streets of Vilnius, the old capital of Lithuania. In the distance, church bells toll, as they always have, a sound that for centuries has marked the rhythm of life for this small Baltic nation's Roman Catholic majority. But in a quiet corner of a modest apartment, above a table scattered with books and a steaming cup of tea, Fatima the young woman in a headscarf, spreads out her prayer rug. From her phone, the soft, soulful call to prayer fills the room. She bows, prostrates, bringing to life a moment that still feels new and unfamiliar in this cold northern land. "I used to think Islam was only for Arabs," she says with a gentle smile. "But I've learned that it can also live in the heart of a Lithuanian." Fatima's story is not the only one. In a country where 74% of the population is Roman Catholic, Islam is quietly carving out a space of its own, slowly, almost invisibly, yet undeniably. Amid the snow, the church bells, and the aroma of Vilnius coffee shops, the voice of Islam is beginning to be heard. For centuries, Lithuania has been known as the fortress of Catholicism in Eastern Europe. Old churches rise in every town, crosses crown the hills, and Christmas is celebrated with nationwide fervor. The Catholic identity runs so deep that it was once hard to imagine any other way of life. But the 21st century brought unexpected change. Globalization opened windows to distant worlds. Students, immigrants, and intercultural couples arrived, bringing with them their own traditions and faiths. Amid these crossings and encounters, Islam found its way back, not as a relic of ancient Tatar history, but as a living faith woven into modern Lithuanian life. The Muslim community in Lithuania is tiny, less than 0.1% of the population. Yet behind those small numbers, life stirs. Every Friday afternoon at the Kaunas Mosque, the country's only major mosque, dozens gather to pray. Students from Uzbekistan, mixed Lithuanian Turkish families, and local converts who have just recited their Shahada fill the room. This mosque is like a small oasis in the cold desert of Europe, says Imam Ramil, leader of the Kaunas Muslim community. "We may be few, but we are real." For many Lithuanians, Islam still sounds unfamiliar. Yet in the age of social media, stories of converts like Fatima or Jonas, a former rock guitarist who now teaches Quran, are spreading, awakening curiosity and empathy. There is no great revolution, no mass movement. Islam in Lithuania grows slowly but steadily through human connections, through marriage, friendship, travel, and the search for meaning. Some encounter Islam through their partners. Others discover it in films, books, or even on TikTok. "I started reading the Quran because I was curious why my Muslim friend was always calm," says Lucas, an engineering student in Vilnius. "The more I read, the closer I felt to God." This revival of Islam in Lithuania is not an explosion. It is more like a small fire in a winter hearth, warm, quiet, but ever burning. Night falls over Vilnius. The temperature dips to zero. From the old cathedral in the city center, the great bell tolls, as it has for 700 years. Yet in a few homes, behind white curtains and fogged-up windows, new faces turn toward the Qibla, whispering prayers in Arabic they've only recently learned. Now, church bells and the call to prayer live side by side, two once distant sounds forming a new harmony in this tranquil Baltic land. In a small village called Tatori, about 20 kilometers from Vilnius, stands a modest wooden mosque. Its green paint has faded with time, the roof is dusted with snow, and in the yard, old gravestones carved with Arabic script stand quietly facing the Qibla. The mosque is not large, but for many, it is the oldest living witness of Islam in Northern Europe. Here lies the root of Lithuania's Islamic story, long before anyone in this land knew the meaning of the word Islam. More than 6 centuries ago, when Europe was still shaken by crusades, and Lithuania was part of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, a group of mounted warriors arrived from the east. They were the Lipka Tatars, descendants of Turkic-Mongol peoples from the steppes of Central Asia. They crossed vast grasslands and deep forests, bringing with them their horses, their swords, and their faith, Islam. The Lithuanian ruler, Vytautas the Great, welcomed them with open arms. The Tatars were renowned for their skill in battle and their unwavering loyalty. In return for their service, Vytautas granted them land, privileges, and most importantly, the freedom to keep their religion. Thus was born the first Muslim community in the Baltic lands, the Lithuanian Tatars, who would become an inseparable part of the nation's story. For centuries, the Tatars lived peacefully alongside Catholic Lithuanians and Orthodox Belarusians. They built small villages, erected wooden mosques, married, traded, and farmed. Over time, they lost their original language and much of their steppe culture, but they never lost their faith. Arabic survived only in prayer, yet the Quran continued to be read, and Tatar children grew up with names like Muhammad, Fatima, and Yusuf, among neighbors named Jonas and Maria. A 17th-century Polish chronicler once wrote, "The Tatars of Lithuania are quiet Muslims, loyal to their country and living peacefully among Christians." They were not conquerors, not missionaries, simply a small, steadfast people who kept their faith with almost heroic devotion. In a few places, their traces still remain. The mosques of Keturias Dešimt Totorių, Nemedžys, and Raidžiai are relics of that heritage, wooden structures without minarets, yet rich in meaning. In Raidžiai, an ancient sun clock still stands, built by local Tatars to mark the prayer times. In the village cemetery, rows of gravestones inscribed with Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim stand solemnly, some cracked and weathered by centuries of frost. Each year, the Tatar community, now only a few thousand strong, gathers to honor their ancestors. They shared traditional dishes such as cheburekai and pierekachevnik, savory pastries filled with meat, and pray for the generations who preserved Islam in this cold northern land for 600 years. When Lithuania fell under the rule of the Russian Empire and later the Soviet Union, the Tatars remained loyal to 2 things, their homeland and their faith. They were no longer soldiers of a duchy, but they became guardians of the oldest Islamic heritage in Eastern Europe. During the communist era, mosques were closed, religious books confiscated, and prayers forbidden. Yet inside small houses, elders continued to whisper prayers with their children. Each time a baby was born, someone would lean close and whisper, "Allahu Akbar." "Our faith never died," says Aisha Raijite, a 20th-generation Tatar descendant. "Our faith never died. We were like embers beneath the ashes, quiet but still burning." Today, a new generation of Lithuanian Tatars is rediscovering pride in their identity. They have founded cultural organizations, teach Arabic, and host Islamic festivals in the heart of Vilnius. Some have even married local converts, blending 2 currents, the old Islam and the new. The horsemen of the Asiatic steppes may have vanished into history, but their spiritual legacy endures in the wooden mosques, in whispered prayers on winter nights, and in the hearts of those who refuse to forget who they are. In that quiet village, the afternoon sun filters through the birch trees, casting light on the old wooden mosque. From inside, the voices of children reciting Quran rise softly. They are Lithuanian accents, gentle yet firm. 6 centuries have passed, and Islam, once brought here by the Tatar horsemen, still stands tall in this distant Baltic land, far from Mecca. 3 decades after Lithuania gained independence from the Soviet Union, the face of the nation has changed swiftly. Vilnius Airport is now a gateway for thousands of students, workers, and diplomats from around the world, including from Kazakhstan, Turkey, Egypt, and Syria. Along with them came new cultures, languages, and faiths, among them Islam. The Kaunas Mosque and prayer rooms at Vilnius University have become meeting places of nations. Arabic mingles with Lithuanian and English. Friday gatherings often turn into cross-cultural conversations. But it isn't only immigrants. Many native Lithuanians have begun to explore Islam, some through marriage, others through personal quests for meaning in an increasingly secular society. Islam gave direction to my life, says Jonas Zakaraskas, a young convert. I don't feel empty anymore. Together, they are shaping the new face of Lithuanian Islam, more global, more diverse, yet still peaceful and sincere. Behind every growing community lies a web of human stories. Many Lithuanians encounter Islam through intercultural marriage. Lithuanian women marrying Muslim men from Turkey, Egypt, or Central Asia, and slowly discovering Islam within their own homes. Yet others come to faith on their own. Take Egle, an art student who found calm in prayer after reading the Quran online. I cried the first time I read Al-Fatiha, she recalls. It felt like coming home. Today, social media in Lithuania features more and more accounts sharing the experiences of new converts, stories of learning to wear hijab, navigating family reactions, and finding belonging in an unfamiliar faith. Islam here hasn't spread through grand missions or mass movements, but through quiet encounters between hearts and truth. Though Lithuania's Muslim community is now more active than ever, their path is not without obstacles. Lengthy bureaucracy still means Vilnius has no major mosque. Some citizens continue to view Islam with suspicion, remnants of global conflicts and old stereotypes. But the younger generation of Muslims chooses dialogue over distance. They set up cultural booths at city festivals, invite non-Muslim neighbors to share iftar meals, and join national volunteer efforts. Islam in Lithuania is not merely a minority faith, says Mufti Alexandras Baganskis. It's part of this country's new identity, small but significant. Amid the church bells and Baltic snow, the call to prayer may still be rare. Yet in thousands of hearts, the light of Islam is beginning to glow, quietly, gently, and surely.